I once believed that building something revolutionary would be enough, that if the code was clean, the system flawless, and the mission pure, people would recognize its value. I was wrong. Sentinel Shield was never just a cybersecurity program. It was a predictive defense system, a self-learning AI designed to detect, adapt to, and neutralize digital threats before they could manifest. I spent 4 years of my life building it from scratch. Long nights, missed holidays, constant iteration. I poured everything into it. And then the company I helped build tried to erase me from the story. Brandon Holt was once my partner, charismatic, persuasive, well-connected, the kind of guy who could sell anything to anyone. While I coded in silence, he charmed investors and led public demos. We were a good team until we weren't. It started with small things, meetings I wasn't invited to, access privileges quietly revoked, my name being left off internal memos. I brushed it off at first, telling myself I was being paranoid. But then I discovered the hidden logs, downloads of my development notes, private repositories cloned without my permission, documents subtly altered to shift authorship. I confronted Brandon. He smiled, hands raised innocently. "Just backups," he said. "Redundancy." But Sentinel Shield saw what I wasn't ready to. I had taught it to recognize threats no matter where they originated. And it had identified one, not from outside the company, but within. Not a hacker or a foreign agent. Brandon. Understanding dawned in his eyes during our last meeting. The system wasn't malfunctioning. It had flagged him. "You can't prove any of that," he said, his voice tight. I leaned back, keeping my expressions neutral. "I don't need to. Sentinel Shield has been documenting everything for months. Every unauthorized access, every copied file, every document you modified, all neatly compiled, timestamps, access logs, keystrokes." Silence stretched between us. Brandon's eyes narrowed, calculation replacing anger. "What do you want?" "Full recognition as Sentinel Shield's creator and primary architect. 50% ownership of all related patents and IP, a board seat to oversee its ethical implementation, and $10 million in compensation for your attempt to push me out." His jaw clenched. "That's extortion." "No," I said smoothly. "That's negotiation. Extortion would be me sending those reports to the investors and the SEC." He glared at me, then slumped slightly. "Can you fix it? Before tomorrow's demo?" Sentinel Shield doesn't need fixing. It needs proper authorization. Right now, it's flagging unauthorized commands because its creator, me, was removed from the authentication chain. I placed a flash drive on the table. "This contains an authentication update. It'll resolve the immediate issues. Consider it a good faith gesture toward our new partnership." Brandon stared at the drive. "And if I refuse?" "Then Sentinel Shield remains locked. The demo fails, and those ethical breach reports find their way into the hands of very interested parties." A long pause. Then, with a quiet sigh, he reached for the drive. "You planned this," he muttered. I smiled. "Number, I hoped it wouldn't be necessary. But when I found you in my secure server 6 months ago, I built in protections for the system and for myself." His eyes searched mine. "How did you know I'd try to cut you out?" I stood, slinging my bag over my shoulder. "I didn't, but Sentinel Shield is designed to recognize patterns, predict threats before they materialize. I guess some of that rubbed off on its creator." The next morning, I arrived at Titan Tech as the newly appointed co-founder and chief technology officer. Brandon introduced me to the investors with a smile that never reached his eyes. The demo proceeded flawlessly. Sentinel Shield neutralized every simulated attack with elegant precision. One investor, clearly impressed, turned to Brandon. "Amazing system. What inspired its development?" Brandon hesitated just long enough for me to savor the moment. Then he said, "It was Maya's brainchild. Her vision from the beginning. Titan Tech just gave it room to grow." I smiled, stepping in to field the technical questions. As I spoke, my phone buzzed. Sentinel Shield authentication restored, threat neutralized, system integrity secured. It had learned faster than I anticipated. It had recognized a threat, neutralized it, and protected its future, just as designed. 3 months later, Sentinel Shield was deployed commercially for the first time. It prevented a massive cyber attack on a global banking network, an incident that could have resulted in $340 million in damages. Instead, it established Sentinel Shield as the gold standard in AI cybersecurity. Brandon and I maintained a professional relationship. He focused on business development, where his charm served him well. I led technical innovation, where my vision was irreplaceable. We weren't friends. We never would be. But we had found a working equilibrium. Sometimes I wondered if I should have taken legal action, but in the end, I had built something too powerful to be stolen, and I ensured no one, not even Brandon Holt, could control it without me. His betrayal taught me something more important than corporate politics. Technology is only as ethical as the people who control it. That belief shaped every future implementation. We added guardrails, transparency protocols, and oversight layers to prevent misuse. Sentinel Shield didn't just protect networks, it protected itself and its users from exploitation. Last week, as we celebrated Sentinel Shield's public offering, a $4.2 billion valuation, a young developer approached me. "What's the secret to building something this revolutionary?" she asked. I smiled. "It's not just about the code. It's about knowing that the greatest threats often come from where you least expect. The real challenge isn't creating powerful technology. It's ensuring it can evolve, defend itself, and maintain its integrity no matter who tries to misuse it." She nodded thoughtfully. My phone buzzed again. A quiet notification. System integrity secured, threat neutralized, protections active, just as it was designed to do, just as its creator had learned to do. And now, I want to hear from you. After everything I went through, being betrayed, underestimated, almost erased from my own creation, I came out stronger, smarter, and in control of my future. But I didn't do it alone. I had my instincts, my experience, and the will to protect what was mine. So tell me, what would you have done in my place? Fought back legally, walked away, and started over? Do you think I made the right call? Leave a comment. Share your story. Let's talk about betrayal, ownership, and defending what we build. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. You are your first line of defense. Never assume others will act in good faith just because you do. Prepare for the worst, build for the best, and protect what's yours. Your work, your vision, your future.